What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is at Big Games BS, brought to you by Den Media Group, presented by TheHumidor.com. TheHumidor.com is the go-to website for all things tobacco related. Go type in sports in at checkout for 20% off, and if you go over $150, it's free shipping to the continental United States. We're inside the world's greatest cigar lounge, Goodfellas Cigar Lounge, and just a lot of stuff is going on in the world. Damn, I didn't tag last week, man. If you missed Monday's show, Sunday, Monday, and then we also did the show with Sporadics at 7:30. Just a lot of good content, in particular if you're an FSU fan or if you're just a fan of the culture and a lot of the things that are going on. Really good takes on Deion and what he's meant to HBCU culture and why people are upset and what's going on with that. The transfer portal, a lot of different things going on. So if you would go check out our YouTube channel, that's kind of the best thing right now for us. That would be great. That's especially if you want to participate in the conversation. The comments are always popping. You guys are very opinionated, just like myself. Love it. We're developing a great community when it comes to that. So a couple housekeeping things. In case you didn't know, and you're an alien on another planet, FSU is in a bowl game. We're in the Cheez-It Bowl, December 29th, playing Oklahoma. I'm working on getting some Oklahoma legends. Right now, we'll have some. Obviously, we'll always have FSU legends. This is the fastest I've ever had people commit to a tailgate right now. So we're about 1/6 of the way to the goal. So I'm gonna tell you what the minimum goal is. We're trying to have 300 people here, at minimum. That matches the LSU tailgate. But what I would love to have is 600 to 1,000 people showing up, and we're gonna party. And I'm gonna go down there on Thursday. We're gonna go check out the property that we're gonna be able to host. It's literally, you can see the stadium, the Citrus Bowl. We're going to work out the parking situation because I know a lot of people are asking me about that. And, we're going to try to figure out how we may even do a post-game thing. So it may be your ticket gets you into the festivities before game, but after the game, we may even do something similar again to it. So like we may throw a party and your band gets you in there. But if you don't have no band, it's going to be $20. We're going to run this thing like a club, man. We're going to have bouncers and everything, man. So, good times. Check it out for that. There's still time to donate to the toy drive, the MFTK third annual toy drive. It's $30 per gift, or you can go check out my pin tweet at Big Game James _36, and you can see links to the Jacksonville kids, links to the Tallahassee kids. Basically, just trying to bring some goodwill and good cheer to the kids. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I'm getting burnt out toward toward end of the year, man, and it's hard, but I still gonna be in the holiday spirit. I'm trying to, I don't really get to wear these shirts that often, so I got to rock my Christmas shirt. I got my naughty nice, or I attempted, and I'm not. There's times when I've been extremely nice. Probably been more naughty than nice during my time. What's that? I don't even know what that says. Oh, that's my guy. That's my guy, Ramon. Man, Ramon's consistent, man. I gotta get Ramon. Ramon, if you come to the tailgate in Orlando, man, remind me. I gotta get you a cap or something, dog. You like my guy's always sharing my stuff. Like hell, I be forgetting sometimes to share things, and he shared it. So I appreciate that. Tell a friend to like this stuff. And again, we'll probably do some year-end things after I get done. We get this to we're gonna do a challenge. So check this out. My bad for the tailgate. I gotta go talk to my guy because I know it's an app to track this. If you like the YouTube, you like the Twitter, you like the IG, you buy a ticket. Everything you do to support me, both paid and unpaid, I'm going to give you an opportunity. We're going to do a random drawing at the tailgate. At least I'm probably going to do 3. Now, part of this is I've got some really cool Seminole paraphernalia. Not paraphernalia, but I got some really cool Seminole stuff that I don't really wanna have anymore. Like, I don't have an office, there's nowhere for me to put it. So, like, I have a Derwin James signed jersey, FSU jersey. I have a Charlie Ward signed jersey. I'll have some Peter Warrick stuff. I have some things that are really, really cool. If you purchase and right now, it doesn't matter, like, people who purchased it, you're gonna get it too. So, you'll have an automatic at least one thing that you'll be able to one ticket. I may even go and say you got 2 tickets. If you buy a ticket, you get I'm giving it away at the tailgate, so you gotta be at the damn tailgate to be able to get it. So, like, the other free stuff is just adding enhancing. But if you do all of that stuff and you click on the goddamn link, so you like the YouTube channel, you like the Facebook, you like the stuff, you retweet things, we're gonna add tickets per those things. But you gotta be present to win it because I'm not shipping it because it costs a lot. And I already have a hard time going to the damn post office, even though I'm not even gonna lie to you, the post office is like right there, like literally right around the corner from where I'm at. So, but if you participate in this stuff, there will be free good shit for you to be able to get. So I'm gonna say this. Um there was a big time election yesterday, and I personally have no dog in the fight because I don't live in Georgia. And I guess they do more stuff than that. They have the Herschel Walker lost. Um, what's crazy is it used to be that Trump endorsement, man. That Trump endorsement used to be gold, bro. That man went 2 for 14 in this election cycle with people who used to back up, who got supported by Trump. Herschel Walker being the last one. I ain't gonna lie, it was pretty valiant. Like, I mean, it was close the first time, and it was just as close the second time. Um, I again, I've told people this, and I don't think people truly believe this. I have liberals thinking I'm ultra conservative, and I have conservatives thinking I'm ultra liberal, which means I'm doing something right. But I am a registered Republican. My son's godfather is a black Republican. I very good friends, I believe, with the mayor of Jacksonville, who's a Republican. I like Lenny though. Lenny's my guy. I I backed and supported Corey Simon, who's a Republican. I believe what they ran for. I could not, in good conscience, back Herschel Walker. Anybody who just votes because their gang affiliation doesn't like that shit doesn't make sense to me. So like, I'm not here to judge you, but I'm just saying like they could have put anybody up else up against Warnock and probably won this. But we know what you try to do. You always tell us that color doesn't matter. You literally pit 2 black people against each other, and you pick, like, the worst black person. Like, I'm offended, guys. Like, there was a lot of other black Republicans that you could have put up, but Christian Walker came up, and that's Herschel's, gay son, which is funny because Herschel said he doesn't know what pronouns are, and I was like, "I get it, that you guys are so worried that people are teaching CRT and about gay people that you think pronouns aren't being taught in elementary school." But my son knows pronouns, but his son is a pronoun, and I remember him looking like he needed attention of a father. And he was really selling out until he realized that, man, this ain't helping. Because I even retweeted one time, saying, "Your daddy don't love you, man. It doesn't matter how hard you go after it. He's embarrassed. Just live with it." But then he started telling the truth, and he listed out all the character flaws of his dad. And it was I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. It's an impressive list that people really, really tried to say they wanted to give this guy a chance. And I'm not here to judge. Like, listen, I've got my own character, but like, goddamn. He said this: "Don't beat women, don't hold guns to people's heads, don't fund abortions and then pretend like you're pro-life, don't stalk cheerleaders." Don't leave multiple minor children to chase more fame. Lie, don't lie, don't lie, don't lie. Don't say stupid crap, and don't make a fool of your family, and then maybe you can win the Senate seat. And I'm not even gonna go that far. I'm just gonna say, like, don't beat women. Actually, you know what? I'm sure Trump slapped a bitch before. I'm gonna say don't stalk cheerleaders. Be a father. And I'm gonna say one of these lies. And you know what Herschel Walker does? He wins with a landslide because he is a sports hero. That's why I think Stetson Bennett is going to become the mayor. I'm not, excuse me, the governor of Georgia one day. You guys have no idea how big Georgia football is in Georgia, man. Like, Stetson Bennett is going first. He's going to be the greatest, most accoladed State Farm insurance salesman in history. And then after that, he's going to run for governor of Georgia, and then he's going to run for Senate, and he's going to serve. And those people are going to the only thing he has to run on is I brought 2 national championships to Georgia. Herschel was the national championship. And all he had to do was just clean it up just a little bit. And he could have got it. And that's sometimes what I have hope for you in words. It's like I want more for y'all. It's just a little bit of stuff, and then things would be better. But anyways, back to sports. Even though that technically is sports related, I absolutely hate everything that's going on right now in college football, but not for the reasons why you hate it. I just hate the think pieces. But I do know this is an opportunity for me to be petty. The transfer portal opened on Monday, and 1,000 for FBS, 1,000 players entered the transfer portal on in the first 24 to 48 hours. A lot of the names were names that I remember being in the media covering them. Sean Dollars, Jalen Rooster, not Jalen Rooster. Rooster is his nickname. Jalen Knighton is the kid's name. A couple offensive linemen, a couple guys that spurned Florida State to go to other universities. And as I sipped my coffee, I'm not like you people. The petty man, fuck them kids came out of me. You picked them other people, and now your career's in shambles. Like now you're in the land of misfit toys. It couldn't happen to better people. That being said, a couple of them I'll spend the block on. I'm still, hey Travis Hunter, if you ain't made the decision to go to Colorado yet, baby, there's still room for you over here. Some of y'all, we may have to haze a little bit though. Somebody asked me about, I think the kid's name is Jaron Willis, who's at Ole Miss. They said it's a linebacker. If he comes, James, would you spin the block on him? I said yes, but he'd have to sing I'm sorry for 2004 new rendition by Ruben Studdard. He'd have to sing that song and post it on social media for me to be able to fully forgive him. But just the transfer portal again, like I said, it been so many think pieces, so many things have been said, so many bad takes. This is why kids are soft and kids are just running away from competition and kids are just doing this, kids are just doing that, and it's not even really about any of that. It's the kids are just making the best decisions for themselves. Like, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? Let me tell you what the life of a D1 athlete is like at a top school. Every year they're bringing in your replacement. Every year you're supposed to get better. They only have 85 scholarships. So I'm gonna put it to you, just if the transfer portal never existed, right? Let's say hypothetically speaking, it never existed. Every year, colleges sign 25 high school kids, right? So let's say college football effectively started in 2002. So you sign 25 kids. That's 25. And that's not including red shirts, the people that red shirts. So you got 25 freshmen. The next year, you sign 25 kids. That puts you at 50. If I'm right, make sure I'm good with my math if I'm off here. Let's say 2024, you sign 25 more kids. Now you're at 75. Now let's say 2025 or the next year you sign 25 more kids. Now, if no freshman transfers out or leaves early, you have 100 kids on your roster right now with an 85 scholarship limit. Do you know what has to happen? What's happened historically when you get to that point? Cuts are made, kids are booted, people are moved and shifted to other places. So, is it the kid being soft when they're over? Me and my boy OJ used to always joke about they used to be like, "Oh, it's not the NFL, blah, 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 yakety smackety." And I'd be like, "Have y'all ever noticed and find it ironic that every year Nick Saban had 10 to 15 kids get in trouble? Every offseason. It was but they were no longer on the team. Every offseason, never failed. 10 to 15 kids left Alabama's roster. Me and OJ used to joke about it. The thing that you're and it comes down to again, it's very polarizing and very political. And I think people don't realize how many things spill over into every facet, every aspect of your life, right? So what I mean by that is the NFL, when they do strikes and lockouts, does a very good job of posing it as the billionaires versus the millionaires. When now it's probably a better argument, but back then it was really only like 25% of the excuse me, only 30% of the NFL was making over $1 million a year during the last lockout. So it's really you really have more in common with your average NFL player than you do with your owner. But you know what everybody always takes the side of? The owner, which is why I found the Kanye stuff very funny. Like, everybody's against the elites, but in elections, you're all for them. Like you're not against the elites when it's the arguments of the NFL. You just want to be entertained. You don't give a fuck how it happens. You want to be entertained. Well, same concept when it comes to college. They have made you believe that every kid is just unhappy with where they're at and that they're getting pushed out or that they're not competing. When the case is this, you're probably not just that good enough. Even to where people are saying the transfer portal is recruiting high school is killing high school recruiting. Miles, do me a favor. Go to one of those. Go to 247 team ranking because we're gonna go through this together. 'Cause I want people to. I'm not again. I always say I don't care that you think. Well, what you excuse me. I don't care what you think. I just care that you think. And when you click on it, this 2023 team rankings calculator. That's 247 Sports. All right, sweet. Alabama, can you read off like because I know we got people on actually I got it right here. So Alabama, 24 commitments. That's high school kids. Best school in the nation. Still taking high school kids. Georgia, as my boy Chris Porter says, 23 commitments. Notre Dame, 26 commitments. Texas, 21 commitments. Ohio State 19, LSU 23, Oklahoma 22, Miami 22, Clemson 23, Tennessee 23, Florida 22, Oregon 24, Penn State 19, 19, 20, 23, 16, 21, 14 wasn't decommits, 18, 23, 25, 18, 11, but they finna get active, 20, 18, 20, 8, 19, 19, 19, 22, 19, 26, 19. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? I'm just going through this list. My bad, I'm running down a little bit faster than you, Miles. But my point is if 25 kids is what the max is, and I keep reading 25 kids are committed, what does that tell you? They're still doing. They're still taking high school kids, man. And some of these guys like Texas A&M, some of these other schools haven't even begun really getting after it. Like, you believe it's like it's so people say it's the media, is this, is that. You're literally looking for stuff to like, to not to educate yourself or get better. You're literally looking for things to, like, to bleed into your argument and not even trying to learn what actually is happening. The same amount of high school kids every year will be committed. It's just gonna be some other new transfer portal guys. Because the rules are still the same. It's 85 scholarships. That's it, man. And if you really wanted to, like, but it's not just the high school kids. They're getting pushed. Damn, Mario Cristobal and Deion Sanders both went on Al Gore's internet and said, "We're gonna get some transfer kids." And y'all blaming the kids for being punks and not wanting to compete. Oh God, some of y'all don't give a shit about your own kids. I you guys, the teachers told you your kids are stupid, and you went and didn't challenge the teachers either. You just went up and just believed them. Like, it's crazy until it happens to you. That's the most American thing is Apple. That being said, it's not that kids aren't going to transfer and kids aren't gonna get picked up by other teams, but it is that it's not as the boogeyman isn't as prevalent as what you think it is. Life is not that scary, people. Your way of thinking and the way college has actually made the game if you wanna have a good argument, it has made the game better. And the wildest part is the teams that are being hit the most in the transfer portal, Texas A&M, who's had the best recruiting classes, Alabama, Georgia, Florida. Outside of Florida, a lot of schools that are actually good are the ones who are being affected the most by the transfer portal. So what that tells me is that kids are now like, this is what you really need to do. If you really wanna address the problem, attitude reflects leadership. I think I said that a lot on Monday. We as the adults, the mentors, need to do a better job of preparing, developing, and educating our young men and women about life decisions so that when they turn 18, 19, 20, they're becoming the new leaders in the new newly educated to become the educators that we can actually make sure they're making good decisions. Like, right now, it's not about going to who's the coolest what's the coolest school? The school with the coolest uniform. The school with the coach that got the most sauce or drag or swag or whatever. It's about what does it fit? I got like, that's just the pooping by Deion Sanders. Everybody is having these arguments about Deion's gonna be successful at Colorado. And I asked, have y'all even looked at this man's schedule? Oregon, Utah, USC, UCLA, Nebraska, TCU, Arizona State. I'm missing somebody. Arizona's actually pretty good. That's 8 teams that have more talent than Dion has currently. But bigger than that, who are his coordinators? They haven't hired him yet. So, like, why would I send my kid to a school with an office that I don't even know if they want to work at? You want to see how it worked in real time? Look down at Miami with Manny Cristobal. Manny Cristobal hired was getting good recruits with no coordinators hired. So no coordinators hired. You sending your kid to go play for him, you have no idea if there's a fit or a match. And you wonder why the kid is gonna be in the transfer portal some years later. You know, also the kids who are getting put in the transfer portal is the kids who probably shouldn't have been D1 in the first place. The reaches, the guys, the developmental projects, the guys that everybody thought, like, you know what, man, if we get this kid, get some of the right people behind him, things are gonna happen. Actually, the one of the kids we're gonna put up right now in a minute is a kid who was actually a developmental, it was a reach. Great kid. I think he could have been better if maybe some of the circumstances would have been different. I think he's a hell of a competitor. But the reality is, based upon his frame and what traditionally speaking, he would have flourished at a FCS or a G5 school. That's what some of these kids who are being pushed into the portal actually are. They're G5 kids. And during my day, you could take a couple of those gambles, but they were gonna transfer out anyway. I'll use the University of Florida, for example, even though one of these kids was a four-star, I believe they have a kid named Chief Borders who just transferred out. Do you know what Chief Borders had on his Hello highlight film? JV plays. DeJuan Black just transferred out. DeJuan Black couldn't make a 2.0 in high school. It ain't even about the athletic ability. The boy was just dumb and should have never been given this opportunity. What's hurting kids these days is you uncles, you old heads working on cars in the driveway and smoking the Newports with it just hanging off the top of your lip, telling these kids that have the D2 and the FCS offers that they need to hold off and wait until Georgia comes and offers him, knowing good and damn well Georgia, if Georgia ain't offered him now, it ain't happening. That's the truth. Who is that? Is that oh Corey? Then he talks. I'm about to say, oh shit. But my point in all of this is you can believe all of the fiction sensationalized media. I believe tangible data. And the tangible data is literally not hard to look up. It's like right there. This is just your first time seeing it. It's always been a part of it. Again, 25 times 4 is 100. Gotta have 85. Naturally, 15 people gotta go. You gotta push 15 people out every every year, no matter what. It's impossible to keep them. And some of these people hitting the transfer portal now, people you've never even heard of. They're walk-ons. I don't know, man. To quote my uncle, Sugar Free, who you'll hear from later in today's show. I didn't write the book. I just read the motherfucker. So I mean, y'all can get mad at me, but like this, the facts are right there in plain sight. But a kid who I believe, who I have all the love for in the world, you post this one of Keyshawn Hill, and this is why I think transfer portal gone right. And I like giving props where props is due. Mike Norvell, whether you like him as a coach or not, Mike Norvell is a phenomenal man, a phenomenal person. A lot of the coaches on the staff are dope. And now he's not above reproach. Trust me. I have done that. I've held him accountable. And you know what I like the most about Mike? Mike craves accountability because he's a healthy human. He eats his vegetables. Some of y'all don't like accountability. Mike did that, boy. I was holding Mike's feet to the fire when he said he text messaged every colored kid during the George Floyd thing, and then Marvin called his ass out on it and said, I ain't heard from you." I was holding him accountable for 3 and 6, and I was holding him accountable for 5 and 7. But right now, well, on the verge of 10 wins, this man can't move. But this right here, really made me just be like, damn, dog, this man gets it. This man really gets it. And what do I mean by that? I mean, he did it twice, and he didn't have to do one. You don't see any other coaches doing this. But before I get like Keyshawn Hilton tweeted out, "Thank you, FSU, for making my dreams come true." And he posted an edit, and it was great. It looks like he had the edit team make this. Dope boy forever. Hashtag Keyshawn, you're not a dope. I just want to make this clear. Dope boys did mat drills. FSU family forever, but if you didn't do mat drills, you ain't no fucking dope boy. We got to make that real clear. It's kind of like my boys who are Kappas. There are, but for people who don't know, little black fraternity thing for you. There's Kappas, and then there's Noops. Every Noop is a Kappa. Every Kappa ain't a Noop. Noops did something put a little extra seasoning on that. Y'all asses ain't have to go through fucking mad drills. But I'm not knocking you. Still love you. I appreciate everything you did. It helped when I damn near died. He was at my book bag drop. He's helped out. He's always been a yes sir, no sir kid. He's just he reminds me of this kid I coach at Mandarin named Boog. Boog is another kid that's undersized, but works really, really hard, plays bigger than what he is. And Boog when I tell you, I don't like practice. I didn't like practice as a player. It's worse as a coach. I got better shit to do. That being said, I love to go see 2 kids every practice. My running backs too. The 2 kids that weren't my running backs. Carmelo. I want to say Carmelo Anthony, but that's not his last name. I don't know. What is Melo's last name? Anyways, Melo's a damn good linebacker that I think somebody needs to give a chance to. And Boog. I don't even know what Boog's real name is, but Boog was so they made you wanna go see him at practice. And it made me wanna do and I tweeted something like this, but this is even bigger coming from a head coach at a major program. This is the equivalent of Bobby Bowden giving me a letter of reference after I got done playing. Special young man that will be successful in all areas, grateful to be on the journey with him, faced adversity, and kept an encouraging spirit throughout. Great days ahead, always a part of the Noel family. Keep climbing. Mike Norvell quote tweeted a kid leaving his program and said, "You're dope." He did that for another kid who I think is awesome. He did that for Amari Gaynor. Amari Gaynor is a local kid from Tallahassee. Father played at Florida State. He had the transfer portal. Such an incredible young man, honored for the opportunity to coach him. Great leader and explosive player. Will be a great asset to a program. Keep climbing. Will always be a Noel hashtag Noel fan. I'm just saying, like that's the story. Like, and what's crazy is a lot of you people pick on kids about the transfer portal. When you've been in the transfer portal for your jobs, been in the transfer portal with baby daddies, you've been in the transfer portal for every aspect of your life. If anybody knows like a commitment, it's today's adult. None of us stick around anywhere for the 25 and 30. I had a friend whose mom, my boy Jay Lyric, whose mom just retired, I just did 34 years at FedEx. Like, that's crazy. Because I don't know anybody who does stuff like that anymore. You know why people leave. You know what it's like. You do it all the time. It's like at a certain point, can we stop acting like today's society ain't basically a mirror reflection of the last few generations? It, nothing related to this, but in a what the hell moment, and I retweeted this. There was a Fat Albert episode where they basically did Scared Straight. Bill Cosby did all the voices for them and was behind it, talking about going to jail, doing all this other stuff. They basically got it's a cartoon for kids to watch to talk about men basically raping other men and doing all kind of other shit. And yet y'all are worried about some Proud House or some shit like that. Like the shit wasn't insinuated in plain sight in our cartoons and all kinds of other shit. But like you got to stop acting like this generation is not doing the same shit that y'all have done, or really start challenging yourself. Who the fuck raised these kids? Because that's what I be saying. Now, on that note, actually, I'm gonna go backwards. So, considering transfer portal done right, something that Florida State and Mike Norvell has been able to do better than everybody else is keep kids. So we ain't really got that many guys transferring out. I think, like but the notable names are also not hitting the NFL draft. Now I know a lot of people got jokes, got jokey jokes. J Trav, you want to go ahead and play the video. Let's see here. A lot of people, while you're looking for people got jokey jokes about my dog J Trav. I had a Miami Hurricane friend of mine say, "Where was he gonna go? Go where?" I said, "Go off for 3 in a row against Miami, I guess. That's what he's trying to go do right now." If you don't think this young man's going to the NFL, I'm gonna make one of those bets with you. Tell me how much you make in a month. I'll even give because you got a whole year. Got a whole year. I'll let you make some payments so you can just put 10% to the side. We're gonna create a trust where we're gonna just put that money into something equal. And then when I win, I'm gonna take your money. I'm gonna bet it on black because I'm betting on J Trap. I know J Trap's going to the NFL. He may not be an NFL starter because what a lot of people don't understand is the NFL is not college. College success is not an indicator of pro success because if that was, the Heisman Trophy winners would all be Hall of Famers, and technically, it's very difficult to be both. It's a completely different game. It's entertainment, but that boy is entertaining. He's fun, and he can do a lot of different things. Go ahead and play the video.
So many memories have been made on this field.
Travis delivers. Caught! Parchment! Cuts back, and Jordan Travis reaches midfield and is way ahead of the race. Travis will throw, fires it up near sideline. Johnny Wilson, one-handed catch. Skip the tackle. 45-40, 35-30 near sideline. A foot race. 15, 10. Travis under pressure, trying to escape.
This is still one of the greatest runs I've ever seen in my life. He brought like 7 tackles and then hit the accelerator. That was impressive.
And we're not done yet. See y'all in 2023.
Hold on, wait a minute. Thought I was finished. When I would ask the more, I thought it was rented. Flexing on him. Some like Papa on the spinach. Double M, yeah, that's my team. I'll say the captain, I'm lieutenant.
Whew, man. I ain't even gonna lie, man. One, on top of J Trav being awesome, he's just a really dope ass individual, man. Like I told everybody about his sign when I saw him sign all the autographs, but what people don't know is like it was after the Louisiana Monroe game or Louisiana Lafayette game. And he tried to sneak out like a rock star, right? And one of the kids saw him and said, "That's Jordan Travis." And when I tell you, 100 little jits ran Jordan Travis down. He tried to run. It looked like a rock star running away. And he sat there. Once they caught him, he sat there and signed every one of them. Like he's a really good guy, man. My son's chopped it up with him numerous times, asked him about hairstyle advice. Oh, because he's got the nappy-headed fro that could probably look like Jay Travis if he would actually do something to it. But it's awesome. But again, Coach Norvell comes in, run it back. So honored to be on this journey with you, Jordan Travis 13. What a great representative of our program, a tremendous teammate and leader. Excited for the future and opportunity that lies ahead. Want to be special. No family, keep coming. And then I didn't send this to you, Miles, but actually go click on the Mike Norvell. It doesn't. You can go back on that. It doesn't matter. Just because that was originally. Yeah, so click on Mike Norvell's Twitter handle, and then scroll down. That one right there, that Jared Verse thing. So I want people that we want to play that too because this is going to be I don't give a damn if you're a fan of other teams right now. This is Mike Norvell selling the program right here. This is Jared Verse and talking about his experience with Mike Norvell and Florida State. If you want to pull that up, my mouse. Because this right here, boy, is some heat. One, I want to give props to Florida State's graphics team and their video editing team because you guys have really outside of that Jordan Travis, y'all could have done better on the Jordan Travis video. But this stuff right here, the Climb series, has been really good.
When I first entered the transfer portal, I was looking for a place to kind of, get better as a player. Everything I do, I feel like physically I was really good, but technique-wise, that's where Coach Odell, Coach JP came in play. I just wanted to become a better player overall, but mostly focus on my technique. I chose Florida State because of Coach Norvell. Coach Norvell and Coach JP, they kind of sat with me and they gave me a lot of promises. And since to this day, they've kept every promise. They haven't lied to me once. They told me they'd give me their best, and they've given it to me every day. It's definitely different from other places. Even just talking to the other transfers, they didn't have this sense of camaraderie, this sense of brotherhood at other schools. Here, it's like everyone wants to say like we're one big family. Here, it's actually we're one big family. Like from the last person on the roster to the number one player, like everyone's a family member. That game was insane. That's an atmosphere I've never felt in my life. I'm pretty sure a lot of the players on this team have never felt in their life. Like it was just, I don't want to even say hostile. It was just an amazing environment. Everyone's screaming, everyone's loud, everyone's into the game. A lot of games, like at halftime, the game's decided, so everyone will leave. But that game, we came out, it seemed like there were more people after halftime. Like that was just an insane game. The atmosphere, everything about it.
Why wouldn't you want to transfer home? Come to Florida State. Jared Verse, I think, is coming back. Fabian, I think Fabo's coming back. Jerry and Jones has said he's coming back. Green has said he's coming back. Excuse me. We're still waiting on Johnny Wilson to say if he's coming back or not, but I think he's coming back. Jordan Travis coming back. Trey Benson coming back. Everybody coming back. That means we're going to probably, for the first time in a long time, Florida State will probably be a top 10, possibly even top 5 ranked team coming into next season, depending upon how they finish against Oklahoma on December 29th. I say all that to say is there a reason? Maybe. Something that I have always stressed is that and people have asked me all the time, James, Miami says we're broke. Florida says we're broke. Even a guy, Darren Heitner, who's basically fame right now, is directly warranted to me feeding him information about Jim McElwain being fired and him being the breaking news with me giving him the information. Darren, if you ever hear this and you deny it, you don't want the receipts to drop. You know I got them text, buddy. And you know who I know. You know who did you know what to you know who. So let's just keep that between me and you. Just give props. But Darren says it's, they have these collectives, but do they have this and blah? And I tell people, like, where I'm from, the loudest person in the room isn't the toughest person in the room. And you guys have seen that guys like John Ruiz, you hear what I call him, a lion-ass Cuban. Well, Florida State has a new collective coming out, and I'm no longer a part of Micanopy 1851. Still think that they got some opportunities to do some big things. I just took a step back to focus on the things that I find more important in regards to student athletes is development, education, and making sure that they can develop their brand on and off the field. But I had a good friend of mine tell me, man, we got some big news coming in. And he told me this about a month ago. And then I was just saying, okay. He said another collective's coming. I'm like, cool. Don't give a shit. Players getting paid. He's like, yeah. And then at the Florida game, I saw Ingram Smith of NoCast. NoCast is like the Frazier of Florida State sports. Before anybody takes that as a knock, I happen to love Frazier. Frazier's one of my top 5 all-time TV sitcoms. I can watch that shit all day. Baby, I hear the blues are calling, tossed salad and scrambled eggs. And maybe I seem a bit confused, but baby, I got you pegged. But I don't know what to do with that tossed salad and scrambled eggs. They're calling again. If you don't know what that is, that's the Frazier theme song. So I'm making sure you understand I really do like Frazier. And NoCast is really, really good at what they do. But I saw Ingram at the game, and I joked about it on Twitter that Ingram actually grabbed the shit out of me. Like, Ingram almost got punched until I saw he said his name, and then I was like, oh, it's safe. Because he was like, the fullback. He grabbed me. I'm like, hey, And then I looked, I said, oh, shit, it's Ingram. I don't want to give Ingram a black eye. And then Ingram said something to me about the person he was with. He's like, this guy right here is better, can single-handedly get everybody at Florida State, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, cool. I believe it. I don't, like, when people tell me they got money, I'm not finna come and try to discredit you. I ain't got no reason to not believe you got bread. Like, if you say you got bread until you prove you ain't got no bread. Like, the guy partnered up with Micanopy. He was like, I know all the Migos, so I figured out he didn't know none of the goddamn Migos. But none of them fucked with them. So Ingram tells me this, and then what I've always told people is that I ain't the smartest person in the room, but I'm extremely perceptive. Went back, ate some leftover turkey after the game. And then I thought about everything. I processed everything. I'm like, oh, shit. I wonder if, and then Ingram hits me up and says he got to talk to me. Ingram, I am mad about you on this because your ass told me you've been calling me since Sunday, and your ass ain't called me, motherfucker. And I see all this shit drop. I would have kept the goddamn secret. I want to know some secrets and shit too. But I saw the drop for Battles in Collective. Dope ass name, cool ass graphic. Signed my little bro, Kalen DeLoach. Signed I think they got Jay Travis with them. A new NIL collective has joined the Florida State market. The Battle's End will be run by Nolecast host Ingram Smith with immediate focus on player retention. We can be as competitive as we want in this space. That's not the bars, though, that Ingram dropped. Shit. Let me find this bar that Ingram dropped. What's Cass text me about? Oh, my dog wants some bread. All right, I'm going to give him some bread. My bad. I'm sorry. I got a text message from a no great Kez McCorvey. On the side note, y'all stop being disrespectful to our greats and making all these lists and not putting Kez McCorvey as one of the GOATs. Damn, what is this Ingram quote? Ingram put, I'm assuming it's Ingram. I don't know if it's Ingram exactly, but it was some Cash Money shit talking that I can actually get behind. Where we at on time, Miles, if you don't mind? Okay, shit, I gotta speed up. They've been, a lot of people have been dropping stuff. Kalen DeLoach, Finish the Climb, Battles End Collective, Ingram, there's no better embodiment of everything we want and a partner than Kalen DeLoach and his family, an exceptional start for Battles End. Here it is. I'm not gonna tell you that I'm a John Ruiz and I have unlimited money, but I would tell you that we can be as competitive as we want to be in this space. A new FSU collective joins the market with an immediate focus on player retention. That is the type of shit talking that I can get behind. I have told y'all we not broke. I've also told y'all that John Ruiz is a lying-ass Cuban, and I also told you that money was funny. If you notice, one of the biggest landing fish that they got last year was University of Maryland transfer defensive tackle from out of the 850 backyard, Daryl Jackson. Signed a deal with Life Wallet. I was kind of quiet on a lot of the stuff. I was just like, hey, man, I'm telling you, it ain't what you think. Immediately, my man has started transferring back. It's transferring, allegedly, arguably, 95% chance is happening. He's signing to Florida State this year. Big bank take little bank. It's easy again. I ain't got no argument with you if you got money, but like if you say you got money, but then when it's time to show the bread, trying to show the bread, it's time to put the chips up. You like too rich for my blood. It's all good. Shit was all good. It's all good until you got to write the check. Until you got to pay for the checks. All right. But shout out to Ingram. As I get more information on what they got going, I'll share it. But I do believe it's going to be a really, really, really good thing. But by 8 o'clock, crabs in a barrel. Crabs in a barrel. So people say, or have been saying, that anybody who has a critique of Deion Sanders and how he left is hating on a black man having progression. And people have even implied that it's a crabs in a barrel mentality. Without looking at what crabs in a barrel actually means or what it actually says. First and foremost, crab's natural habitat isn't a barrel. So let's get that clear. Second, the thought process between crabs in a barrel is anytime that you see a crab about to get its way out of the barrel, another crab will grab it and pull it back down. That's the implication, is that black people don't want to see Deion progress. Without talking about how did that crab get to the position in which it could get to the top of the barrel. I'll tell you, the crab has to climb on top of other crabs and push other crabs down in order to get itself to the top of the barrel. So when you say we have a crab in the barrel mentality, realize that everybody in there is a crab. And when you think about what Deion had to do to be able to get out of said barrel, is he had to climb on top of a lot of other crabs. Not just with this one, and it's consistent. It's Primetime Academy with a lot of kids who came from with education in their careers got fucking screwed. He's flourished. He felt like my friend Nakia would say, Deion fails like a rich white man. He fails forward. But in all of that, I was, again, you can be extremely happy for Deion Sanders. You can, like, but even in all of this stuff, like, so people, but Deion's complaining the entire time. Deion says his shit got stolen in the locker room after the first game out of his office without people realizing, just like when Deion walked through the Alabama State sideline, everything in a college game setting is strategic and where it's supposed to be. A coach's office can't get broken into if the door is locked, and you're supposed to have campus security. You're supposed to have cameras everywhere too. So a lot of the shit that Deion was talking about, I think, was kind of bullshit. But I ain't, whatever. If you say you got your shit, say you got robbed, you got robbed. But here's where I call bullshit. And this thing went viral. Albert Coleman is this guy, but a lot of people have posted this. Wow, I knew it. According to my source, JSU is in the hot seat for misuse of football funds. Individuals were stealing money from football program by moving it to general funds / scholarships. Basically stealing from prime and players. 80% of why Deion Sanders is leaving. This will be the next breaking news. You heard it from me first. Everybody wants to be first. They don't want to be right. The next slide. And the plot thickens. Let's run it down. JSU put in Deion's contract that after 30,000 ticket sales, he would receive a percentage of the sales. That didn't happen the whole time he was there. The ticket sales got missing. Deion, the football team, nor the staff saw any of that money. There was a lucrative TV deal in place that Deion wanted to get, but the university did not. Deion was I'm going to repeat that. There was a lucrative TV deal in place that Deion wanted to get, but the university didn't. What university ever doesn't want to bring in money? But whatever, we'll get to that. Deion, with his own money, built a new locker room. Okay, again, remember when I was telling people, what is a new locker room? Does a new locker room cost? Let's see here. How much did LSU's are? So their locker room isn't LSU's by any stance, right? LSU's locker room alone costs $28 million. Let's say it costs a fourth of that. You really think? Never mind. I'm gonna keep reading because y'all ignorance just baffles me. All the fancy meals you saw the players eating, Deion, bullshit. When the JSU went to the Celebration Bowl last year, they didn't give any money back to the athletics. Bullshit. That's just not even how it works. Deion used a lot of his personal money to fund numerous things around campus. That might be true. The university did not help. The president wanted his name in the headlines as much as Deion. Deion wanted to coach the Celebration Bowl this year. JSU president said no. Very few schools get a chance to coach the bowl game, even on the white, especially on the white level, since everybody wants to compare everything to whites. You don't get to coach the bowl when you leave. Very few times does it ever work out. Last minute offer was made for $1 million for Deion to stay, but he had to pay his staff out of that. There was no new offer made after the first year of success. My. I sent that to my friend. Because my friend had been telling me about this athletic director by the name of Ashley Robinson. Ashley Robinson is the athletic director of Jacksonville State University. He told me a story about an athletic director who's been successful at every HBCU stop he's ever been at. He is SWAC, or he is HBCU. Could have went to PWIs, decided to stay for the culture. He's gone on and said a ton of things that have been beneficial, but this is what he said. He said he reached out to a coach and asked him about coaching, piqued his interest about coaching. because he had an idea. This said coach did not have the qualifications, though. So what he did was he went and showed the coach how to get the qualifications. This coach went to a predominantly white institution where he had a propensity for not going to school. So much so that they made a rule called the fucking Deion rule. And he knew in order to go back to that university and get his degree, he was going to have to go through sitting his ass in class and doing a lot of other different things that would have made it very difficult for him to be who he was and make as much money. So that AD helped connect the dots to be able to take him to an HBCU to be able to get the degree in which he needed to be qualified for the job in which he offered him when nobody else offered him. Made concessions like renovating a locker room, getting a deal put in place for a stadium. See, athletic directors do all of those different things with the permission of a president. Generating funds. See, what happens is, and most HBCU people know this, when you go get those ass whooping games, like against Miami, like for $1 million, that money doesn't go to athletics. It goes to the general fund. And you know who has in charge of the general fund? The fucking president. That is his money. He does whatever the fuck he wants to do with his money. And if all of this stuff was true, and the problem with leaks is that somebody close enough to the situation had to put it out. And what happens is you don't want this shit to go to courts. But my source told me I'm sickened. If this was all true, right? Now you got the video of with Deion. This is what Deion, like, you people believe this shit. This is from Deion's press, the little thing he did with his team about Ashley Robinson. What does he say about Ashley Robinson? So what I want to say is, again, I try to talk to you guys not above your head, but to the level of what you can understand. If somebody stole money from you, would you say that? Would you feel obligated to say that? You wouldn't be there. Your ass would have said what you had to say about your players. You would have been on the plane. Ashley Robinson isn't just a good HBCU athletic director. He's a good fucking athletic director. So much so that he received the prestigious 2021-2022 Cushman & Wakefield Athletic Director of the Year Award presented by the National Association of College Directors of Athletics. That means he is considered one of the best by his peers. And yet, in order to exalt a celebrity, some of you feel so obligated to besmirch another black man in order to exalt a black man who would not piss on you if you were on fire, who didn't even ask you to do it. Think about how many people you got to shit on to exalt that one person, and then think about your crabs in the barrel reference. A black president, a black athletic director, hundreds of black players that transferred in, his own fucking son who can't transfer it out. You want to know what they did do? Because I have a friend. It's funny because he hasn't said shit about this, but his son played baseball for Jackson State. And you know what they did? They took funds from other sports to make sure football got what they needed. And another thing, Deion ain't even the only former elite pro athlete on that staff in athletics for them. They couldn't hear the Deion thing? Run that back. Because I want people to hear that, because you need to know what Deion said.
AD, I would not be here to one for this man. With all, you have no idea the trials and tribulations that we stood back to back and worked out for some of the things.
To summarize this,
some of the things that y'all have no idea about.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this man.
But
that's what your Lord and Savior Deion Sanders said. The craziest thing is right now, black people are acting like there are 3 pictures on every black athlete's mantelpiece in their mama's house. Black Jesus, Barack Obama, and Deion Sanders. This man hired Mo Williams, a former basketball legend, NBA coach, to hire at Jackson State. Deion ain't the only person there that has some clout or some sensation. And you know who is swag? Who really is? This boy from Jackson, Mississippi. And what's crazy is just how easy you colors just threw the shit up there. No fact check, no nothing, just believed it. All because you like somebody. Talk about crabs in the barrel. That's some crabs in the barrel shit for you right there. But that crabs in, you know what? You know what's fun though? To do the crabs in the barrel, besides boil them and put them in the broil, shoot them. Crabs in the barrel, shooting crab. It's like shooting fish in the barrel, like shooting crabs in the barrel is the same concept. But you can do all of that with Green Acre Sporting Goods. Go over there, get you some pump shotguns, 9mm, all those different things, bullets. They don't have the Dragon's Breath bullet. I was disappointed by that, but my boy Z did give me a good reason why. I get it. But they got everything else that you could possibly need. Outdoor stuff. You don't have to go in there and buy that gun lover or that outdoorsman bullets or anything like that. You could just go get them a motherfucking gift card. You can get them a gift card there. They'll spend all this different money and they'll do all the different. They will take care of you. Safes, bread, all of that all kinds of stuff that you possibly need. I love those guys. They're great. They take good care of you. They're not going to make sure. They're going to make sure you don't leave with something that you don't need, which a lot of these places will not. Moving into my next thing. So Alpha Male Clinic, you can also go get gift cards for that male in your life. Executive Med Spa for the women, Alpha Male Clinic for the men. Let's get right toward the end of the year. Start off 2023 looking sexy. I'm over here running 2 miles a day. Well, I've done it for 2 days in a row, so I can't say every day, but I want to get on Miles's level one day where Miles like literally will run 10 miles to work and then walk 10 miles back. Probably not. Don't have that in me, but that's how you stay fit. Sometimes being fit has nothing. I actually understand why they used to say being skinny was a symbol of poverty in the ancient days, because when you don't have much, you got to figure that shit out. Right. And like sometimes, like when you haven't figured out, you have to have motivation to go do stuff. But some of us in this world and some people, they're in shape because they have no choice but be in shape. Their only method of transportation is their feet, or their only method of eating is their hands. But do all of that stuff. Be an alpha male. Get to the best part of your body, part of what you need. And being an alpha male is understanding your worth. There's a great quote by Big Sean. Understand, to get a fine bitch, you got to read the fine print. And these tweets like this, what this guy does, really bothers me. It's a man not understanding his worth. Click on the original tweet, not the quote tweet. That's the quote tweet, but the next one with the video. So, like, are they seeing the video? So apparently, this is Waka Flocka's ex-girlfriend or whatever, and she's curvy. She's attractive. As people say, she's got a mean walk or whatever. And this guy, Vintage Ray, I still be wondering on how Waka fucked this up. And then he put her name Tammy. And this man definitely, Ray Ray's like, she's sexable for years and, blah, 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 and simping. And then there's some old heads that will tell you, for every bad bitch, it's a dude tired of fucking her. Once y'all realize sex and looking good aren't the only components of a relationship, you'll be free of this. And then Ray-Ray's capping still. He cheated on her multiple times and stayed loyal. Do you know what that probably means? Something that he's tired of. To quote the prophet, and this is what mine's. I've got to remind me, damn it, I need that motherfucking whatever the shit is that you push the buttons. So I can just, because there's some things that we just need. Like I needed the funk flex. That's what the fuck you call bars. Then what I need is Young Thug's summarization of when I see a woman continue to battle and say she's single and know that all N-words ain't shit. Young Thug summed it up and said something wrong with the pussy. Maybe it's something wrong with the pussy. Like it's, if you really think about this, guys, and this is off of the alpha males topic right now, but it is a lot of ugly women that are fertile as fuck. They have a lot of kids. You know what that means? They got something good between them. And there's a lot of pretty women that nobody wants to be around. And you know why? I'm going to tell you what. Pretty women don't get dogged out like that. And I don't mean like dogged out like pimped and all that, but like, look at her. Shit up, man. You get some of these, man, you grab them by the neck, spit in their mouth. I don't do that because I've heard that's what people are into. It's kind of, I don't like spit. So like you spit on me, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Man, woman, dog, don't matter. But like, you know, she probably don't know how to arch. It's a lot of things that she probably just not doing. And yes, maybe somebody else can Sierra her. But I think even Russell's getting tired of fucking Sierra. But my boy, I don't chase. I don't _chase, which is basically what my grandmother raised me as. She told me Watkins, even Watkins is the familial name, but she said Watkins don't chase, not even liquor. And he says one day y'all gonna learn being fine don't mean shit in the long run. And here's a little bit of game to help my my young pups who don't understand the game. Again, he's not really my uncle, but I feel like he's light-skinned enough with good hair to have been my uncle. He's probably the same age as my mother, but like Sugar Free basically gives us life lessons in this. This is the greatest bar of 2022. Like bars of 2022. And like, this is where I need the funk flex thing. But like, just listen to what Uncle Sugar Free has to say to us.
Sugar Free at Crash Dummy. I ain't the smartest motherfucker in the world, but you just another bitch that need gas money. And this is some news you can use. Bitch, a million motherfuckers wanna be in my shoes. Bitch, I'm a legend in these streets. The better kind. How many of y'all niggas know where y'all bitch at right now?
Never mind.
Believe everything that bitch tell you, huh? Don't lie to splurge. Boyfriend, pimping, nigga, shit. What is it? Mine or hers? Mobe then. Your average nigga break his neck to go to your house. Have I ever been there? Okay then. What I'm gonna give a bitch a pass for? Spent all that time in school and got a job that ain't got nothing to do with you with your class for. Here goes some real sugar-free tough in there. If the bitch got a gang of play cousins and play brothers, they fucking her. Sugar-free to Pete. Look like the game hurt. If the bitch got 2 or 3 phones, she either a hoe or a brain surgeon. How to write the book, motherfucker. I just read what was in them.
That's what I'm just telling you. That's where I got that line from. That line at the end is so cold. I didn't read the book, motherfucker. I just read it. Hey, man, that's what Walker told her, man. Like, guys, man, check this out right here. We put the calculator on. I am not I have emotions. I don't want people to think I'm not emotional. I do have emotions, but I'm logical. I like stats. I like tangible evidence. I like context with the tangible evidence. If the average man, if above average man makes $50,001 a year, why are you out here killing yourself? Like, and it's not that women aren't worth it. Women are more than worth it. You should, when you find it. Like, even this guy right here, I want people to realize, even though that was some of the coldest pimping on wax, even him and Too Short, two of the biggest pimps to ever have lived on a rap album, are both married or settled down now. The Sugar Free just got married. I was disappointed, but then I thought about it. You realize how bad that woman had to be to get Sugar Free? Y'all can say what you want. You can be like, this person's ugly. You can be like that. Bitch, he knows his worth. And he's not settling it for it, because there's a lot of ugly women that tell me I know their worth too. And I'm like, yes, dollar menu. Exactly what you're worth. But my point in all of that is, guys, it's to quote Cat Williams, and I have to tell myself this too when I'm not feeling good about myself. It's called self-esteem. It's called esteem of one's motherfucking self. Right. So you have to really go in there. You have to work on yourself. You have to do the different things. And what happens is when you work hard for the position that you are in life, whether it be physically, whether it be fiscally, whether it be mentally, but you had to put in a lot of work to get to that position. You tend to not settle because you know your worth, because you knew how hard it was for you to get to where you were at. So you won't settle. And I think when you look at it, like, only thing y'all can tell me, and I don't know her personally, but the only thing y'all told me was that bitch is fine. Y'all didn't say that bitch is fine and she's a doctor, which we don't really give a shit about. You didn't tell me that bitch was fine and one of the greatest chefs in the world. You didn't tell me that bitch was fine and she was this. You just said that bitch was fine, and that's worth giving money. Like, it's go to the Build a Bitch workshop in Sosúa, Dominican Republic, and you'll see a fine bitch everywhere for $40. If that's what the case is, like, I actually told one of my female friends, and I told her, I'm candid with everybody. She told me, dude dropped some serious bread on her. I was like, damn, that nigga could have went to the DR for half of that and got it got variety.
Right.
And it wasn't knocking her. She is worth it. But she wasn't really giving them anything like to make it. She didn't care about that guy. All that being said, man, value yourself. Value those who are around you. Be careful about the decisions that you make. Have accountability. And to wrap it up, always remember, Florida State is going to a bowl game and the University of Miami isn't. So don't let nobody fuck up your day, man. Again, don't care what you think. I just care that you think. Appreciate y'all for chopping it up with me. We'll see you guys next time.